This video is brought to you by Skillshare. It is often said that Dragon Ball characters, usually Goku, are in a league of their own when it comes to power scaling. Practically no one outside of Dragon Ball can even compete with Goku. So much so that if you were to place him in basically any other anime, he would pretty much one-shot the big bad in seconds. But does Goku really ruin every single story in anime? Or are there some that even he can't resolve? This was a question that we knew was dumb, but interesting nevertheless. And so we cooked up a what-if circumstance by asking this question. What if, as part of Whis' training to sharpen Goku's mind, he presented him with a unique challenge in the shape of a door to other worlds? Not entirely dissimilar to that which the Z-Fighters use on Kami's Lookout during the filler portion of the Saiyan arc, this door would act as a convenient entryway to hundreds of other anime worlds, and as Whis here might put it, would offer Goku a type of training he has never experienced. Emboldened by this prospect, Goku excitedly makes his way to this relatively unremarkable doorway, only for Whis to reveal one last detail.
Before you go, Goku, you should know that once you enter, you'll be unable to return until you resolve whatever issues present themselves on the other side.
Okay, got it!
And with that, Goku takes one step through the doorframe. In the blink of an eye, Goku suddenly finds himself in the middle of a different story.
Wow, that was fun.
Okay, yeah, this is the problem I mentioned earlier. Goku is just so strong that for a lot of anime, he trivializes the entire conflict within hours of arrival. And this is a pattern that, let's just say it's hard to break from.
So, this Shigaraki guy, he's hurting people, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Again, and again, and
Thanks so much for bringing me to Vinland, Goku.
No problem, have fun.
Hello? Anybody?
and again.
Huh, that kid with the arrow on his head was nice. I guess that one did count.
As Goku dusts the soot off of his gi, excitedly readying himself for the next possibility that awaits, Whis says,
Be careful, Goku. You might be powerful, but you can't punch your way out of every issue so easily. In fact, let's try something a bit more challenging this time.
Finally, a real challenge.
With one tap of his staff, the room shakes and suddenly the door swings open. Eagerly, Goku jumps inside, but where was he transported to?
Wow, I wonder if it'll taste the same as back home. Don't mind if I do.
Sasha, get away from there! Who are you? What are you?
Alright, sorry. Name's Goku. I'm a Saiyan raised on Earth, and I'm here to help solve your problems.
Our problems? What you mean, our problems? Because the way I see it, you're the one who stole our only meat.
Wait, this is all you have? Something really serious must be going on.
I've often wondered what sort of impact a godlike being such as Goku might have on a story like this, with its mysteries, mechanical complexities, and morally gray circumstances. I therefore decided the conclusion to episode 4 was the ideal spot, with it playing host to the convergence of several large mysteries within the AOT plot. Upon seeing this enormous energy break down the walls and witnessing everyone's reaction to it, it's safe to say that someone like Goku, despite Eren getting into position to dispose of the beast himself, would blast a large Kamehameha through this Titan, the likes of which no one in this universe had ever seen before. The other scouts are visibly shocked by what has just happened, but Eren exclaims, "Hey, that was my kill!" as he descends to inspect the corpse. This would normally be a point of celebration, however Goku, realizing that he hasn't teleported back to Whis yet, notices something no one else can. That the energy from the colossal Titan hasn't vanished, and as he informs Eren, it's in fact making a hasty retreat to the eastern side of the wall surrounding the city. With Eren's smile slowly changing to that of confusion, Goku recognizes that this is Eren's fight and quickly grabs him, exclaiming that they need to hurry before he loses track of him. This city is filled with tiny energies like that he's pursuing, and if it manages to climb back over the walls and blend in with them, he'll never find them. Recognizing this, Goku flies through the freshly destroyed gate, blocks the hole with the boulder per Eren's request, and manages to beat this mystery figure before he makes it over the crest of the outside wall. Eren's eyes are transfixed on the area Goku is pointing at. Several seconds pass with nothing until the faint wisp of the mobility gear begins to build and build until Berthold Hoover, one of Aaron's friends, emerges from over the crest of the wall, looking as though he's seen a ghost. Alright, so this is fascinating for two reasons, right? Number one, the purpose of breaking this wall was for Reiner and Berthold to flush out the founding Titan. And so, witnessing Goku single-handedly dispense of the Colossal Titan, plug up the hole in Trost, and still beat the retreating Berthold to his getaway position would be more than enough to catch their attention. And number two, Reiner would join the scene also to see what's going on. He could easily then convince Eren to switch sides. I mean, in Attack on Titan, Eren has always been willing to defend his friends, even when it doesn't make sense to do so. So seeing Goku insist that this is the enemy that killed thousands would only serve to enrage that Eren, opening up Reiner to give him the Marco treatment. Stabbed through the heart, Reiner explains that he wished it didn't have to come to this, but Eren has seen and heard too much. But as Reiner turns to face Goku, he witnesses the powerful eruption of a Super Saiyan. Wide-eyed, both he and Berthold exclaim, "The coordinate!" With Eren mortally wounded and Berthold unable to transform again, Reiner takes this chance to sprint towards Goku, transforming into the Armored Titan. Unable to inflict any damage at all, Goku grabs his extended fist and throws him off the wall and onto the Titan-occupied territory of Wall Maria. With no Dragon Balls and convinced the only person he had any relationship with is now dying, Goku leads the pursuing Reiner away from the city as he gives chase. As he does this, Goku notices in the far distance a red flare, followed soon after by a much closer green one shot into the sky. It's Erwin and the scouts en route back to Trost. Intrigued that these people might have some answers to the questions he has, Goku loses Reiner and touches down a small distance away from Erwin, who upon seeing him, immediately shoots a purple flare.
Hey everyone! I need your help!
Who are you, and where did you come from?
My name's Goku, and I came from, over there. There's this big rock guy chasing me, and I'd handle him myself like I did the giant naked red guy earlier, but these guys, they don't stay down. What's that guy's name? Bert something, Burrito. Yeah, Burrito.
Right at that moment, a 10-meter class Titan comes thrashing through the thicket behind Goku. Bracing himself with a confident smile, the Titan bounds right past the Saiyan and heads straight towards the scouts. Confused and taken aback, he turns to see that the Titan is already falling lifelessly. Before its face even hits the ground, Goku feels the sharp, cold blade of Levi Ackerman pressed against his throat.
Whoa, you're amazing. I didn't even notice you get up close. You're way faster than the others.
Want to see what else I can do? You'll love it.
Levi, stand down.
Sir?
You seem prepared to fight that Titan with your fist, and yet it ran right past you. How?
Beats me. What's their problem anyway? First the giant red guy kicked a hole in the wall, then a regular sized guy jumped out, and now his friend turned to a big rock dude. You'll be here pretty soon though, I reckon.
I don't understand. Normal Titans attack all humans, which means...
In the direction Goku is looking, a black flare is shot into the sky. The Armored Titan has found another squad. I won't go into too much detail here, but suffice it to say, while starting to gain the trust of the scouts, his strength and ability to sense energy combined with Levi's experience and precision is enough to apprehend Reiner, who is now reduced to a stub. Fatigued and healing after extraction, he's placed in a holding cell deep underground within the walls. So while Goku might not be anywhere close to fixing the problem and returning home yet, he has fundamentally changed several key factors that create a complicated domino effect that killed my mind and transported this entire story to its conclusion practically overnight. Allow me to explain. Upon returning to the outside of Trost following their interaction with Goku, Erwin, the scouts, as well as several onlookers in military command witness a Titan ignore humans while killing other Titans. Eventually collapsing, Eren emerges unconscious and so is also brought into custody with Goku. Now, I say Goku's brought into custody. I mean, he's attempted to be interrogated and questioned, but he shares everything willingly once he gets some food, and eventually it becomes clear that he can't exactly be contained or harmed by them. And so, my guess is that they would have no choice but to trust him eventually, and he would win them over with his gentle personality. By the time the investigation into Reiner's past had been conducted, both Berthold Hoover and Annie Leonhardt were confirmed missing. And Eren's trial goes about as well as it did in the anime. Together, Eren and Goku are used as weapons for humanity against the Titans. Meanwhile, Hanji is treating Reiner like one of her Titan test subjects. Studying his impressive and evident regenerative abilities, she keeps him in a constant state of healing. However, one morning, with 2 guards crushed and 1 cell completely destroyed, Reiner joins Berthold and Annie on the wanted missing persons list. And yes, while this is all indeed stressing and not ideal for the forces of parity, they have also acquired Eren and the single most powerful weapon in existence, Goku. And this is where things get really crazy. Erwin proposes that Goku fly outside and beyond the walls to tell them what he sees. What he reports back is so unbelievable that Hanji volunteers to go with him to confirm this claim. And to her amazement, everything he said is true. There's an ocean and a strange pier to the south side of the island. And more than that, a far more advanced continent filled with more advanced civilizations rests even further beyond. However, after weeks of recon, a curious Marleyan ship arrives, complicating everything. Systematically, people are bound and guided out, simultaneously transformed into Titans before Goku's very eyes. Goku flees, but this is the moment his understanding of how to solve this problem fades. Having explored the outside world, he's met countless wonderfully kind adults and children alike from many different cultures, with each of them in some way convinced of the islanders' evil past. He thought that his next goal was to clear the island of the Titans, to free humanity, so to speak. But beyond that ocean was a world that hated these people. And what's more is, these Titans weren't monsters. They're people, victims. And upon return to the walls, one thing is for certain. Those folks who landed on the island aren't leaving. So, as some of you might suspect, this is indeed the ship carrying the cart and beast Titan. But what you didn't know was that this is the final battle of the series. Once Goku unloads all of this information, everyone is shocked. However, despite this, humanity concludes that they still need to eliminate the Titan threat. Goku says that he is still willing to protect them from danger, but that he won't kill innocent people. Unsatisfied with this conclusion Goku is drawn and determined to confront the approaching enemy, Erwin and the scouts, escorted by Eren and Goku, make their way south when suddenly Goku confirms that a large amount of energy was watching them and is now running away. Eager to take out this threat without any loss of life, Goku bolts ahead of the scouts to confirm the enemies. And despite Erwin's order to halt their progression, Eren also defiantly transforms, rushing after the Saiyan. But before he gets out of reach, Levi hooks onto his shoulder, Mikasa too moves to follow, but out of nowhere, a swarm of Titans descends upon them from the east and west. Yeah, not ideal. Once Eren and Levi reach the battlefield, Goku has already totally defeated both Zeke and Peak, now too injured to Titan shift again. However, not everything is as it seems. As Goku flies to greet Eren and Levi, lightning strikes at the heart of the Marleyan camp. It's the female Titan. Erupting with an enormous scream, she leaps over the downed Zeke, commencing a sprint towards Eren and Goku. Eren tells Goku that if Annie is here, then Bertolt and Reiner are likely not far behind and that he should protect the scouts at all costs. Though Eren and Levi manage to subdue Annie, something is up. She's smiling. Suddenly, from every direction, Titans charge. Converging on both of them, Eren takes a moment and emerges from his Titan's nape to look tearfully towards Levi and says, "I'm sorry," before unleashing the nuke of the colossal Titan, enveloping both them and the surrounding Titan threat completely. Seeing this colossal foe emerge from the horizon and believing Bertolt has indeed returned again, Goku surges to the colossal's nape only to find Eren? Seizing this opportunity of confusion, Eren stretches his colossal arm towards the unconscious Zeke, now mere inches away from making contact. Levi cuts through the tension and Eren's neck, causing it to fall, but then roll all the way down the colossal arm that was extended onto Zeke's body. This, my friends, is the moment we realize that Bertolt never went missing and Reiner never escaped. It's in this very moment we realize that in this version of events, Eren has taken matters into his own hands. This future Eren has accounted for Goku and forced his past self to come into contact with Historia years prior than he did in the anime and manga, allowing him to see everything he needed to, even a means of dispensing with the most formidable foe in this universe, Goku. Now wielding the power of the Founder, Eren forms and extends a long, sharp spike of Warhammer hardening unseen underground. And with his guard down, completely perplexed, as soon as Goku's feet make contact with the ground, that spike shoots through the Saiyan's heart, incapacitating him immediately. With only moments of life left in him, Goku's limp body is encased by a dome of impenetrable Titan hardening, separating him from the rest of the world. Once sealed, Eren manifests himself before Goku, saying,
I'm sorry, Goku, but you cannot save this world. Though I protected him with Reiner's armor, Captain Levi also isn't the one. But what you have done is facilitate our freedom, and in the name of that freedom I've unleashed this tragedy. The only ones who can stop me are Armin and Mikasa.
Confused and fading fast, Goku emerges from the portal through which he came. Whis, with an impressed look on his face, heals Goku without hesitation.
Oh man, wait, where is everyone? Are they okay? Send me back in! How is that a problem solved?
Sometimes there are no happy endings, Goku. And even for someone of your considerable strength, there can arise circumstances where you ultimately cannot be the difference maker. Sometimes you need to look outside of your present circumstance and plan ahead. The monstrous Eren Yeager certainly did. Have you had enough yet?
Are you kidding me? I gotta put what I learned to the test first. Open up that portal. I'm ready.
Now, as Goku is traveling to his next adventure, you've probably noticed at this point the amount of artwork we've had to repurpose or straight up create for this video. But if there's one thing we all love about Dragon Ball, it's Akira Toriyama's stunning art. To even have a chance of reaching his heights, I've been looking to up my art skills through classes and learning paths on Skillshare, which, if you're not aware, is the biggest online learning community for creatives. Whether you're into drawing and narrative analysis like myself, or just interested in enhancing your editing skills or general productivity, Skillshare has you covered thanks to its thousands of classes from leading industry experts. For me, that involved looking at their learning paths first, which are sequential class collections that'll help you master a specific skill. In my case, that was the Foundations in Figure Drawing path. Before even thinking about stylization, it's so important to learn how real humans look and how to draw expressive gestural poses. From there, it was so great to be able to jump into the Anatomy for Illustration and Comics class that let me take those skills and learn how to apply them in a stylized way suited for tweaking into Toriyama's style down the line. But of course, Skillshare offers more than just art classes. There are wonderful master classes in narrative analysis, video editing, and hey, even growing a YouTube channel too. Shout out to MKBHD. They really do have you covered in almost every area, so if that sounds good, click the link in the description or pinned comment real fast because the first 500 people to sign up get a 1-month trial entirely free. Get started today and let me know what you learned.
This doesn't seem right.
Goku's journey in the world of Pokemon is one that, on its face, may sound silly, but it stands to offer him some of the most important training his interdimensional travels can possibly provide. It begins with Goku, naturally, meeting the one and only Ash Ketchum, as well as his companion Go, and yes, as you'd well imagine, there's a lot of confusion around having both a Go and a Goku hanging around all the time. At this point, Ash is well on his journey throughout every region of the world, all the while aiming for the incredibly illustrious title of winning the World Coronation Series. The world of Pokemon is probably the most foreign Goku has seen in his adventures so far. Hell, none of the humans actually fight each other. But once again, he has found himself in a world where the problem cannot be solved by beating up a strong guy. But ultimately, it doesn't take too long before his goal catches his attention and reveals itself.
So, this World Coronation Series, it's a big tournament where all the very best trainers come together and battle.
That's pretty much the gist of it. Only the absolute strongest.
Under the heavens?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Oh, I am so ready for this.
Yeah, but Ash isn't anywhere near ready for it yet.
I have an idea.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Goku has absolutely no clue how to train or battle Pokemon. How in the world could he possibly be helpful to Ash in his preparation for the strongest under the the Coronation Series? Yeah, that one. And you're right, he has no idea how to train Pokemon. But if there's any two things Goku does have experience with, it's tournaments and training. And of all the Pokemon at their disposal, there is one Goku senses with an incredible amount of untapped potential, Lucario. A bipedal fighter with great speed, the ability to fly, and something resembling ki control. Lucario is the closest thing to common territory Goku can find in this world, but that common ground is something he's confident he can use to help ensure Ash's success. So, after some convincing, Goku takes off into the woods with Lucario, and does what he does best. He begins Lucario's Turtle School-style training. This, though, is where Goku is truly put to the test. Goku, of course, has had pupils under his tutelage before. He even spent an entire year in the Room of Spirit and Time with Gohan before the Cell games. But this training with Lucario is different.
Alright, show me what you got. Hit me with your best move, Lucario. Oh, well, okay. It's not exactly much, but I can work with that.
Not only does Lucario have basically no formal martial arts training, he is just a Pokemon after all, but he is much weaker than Goku, to say the least. There is no turning Super Saiyan, no powering up, or fantastical Ki Blast for Goku to use when training Lucario. Sparring with this Pokemon may have been easier when he was a kid, but now the gap is way too wide, and training therefore a very different experience from what he is accustomed to. For the first few weeks, training revolved around one simple thing: upping Lucario's physical strength. Even if Goku suppressed his power as much as he possibly could, it would still be too much for Lucario in his current state. So Goku took a page out of the Turtle Hermit's book and ran Lucario through a gamut of practical physical training. Yes, you are imagining that correct. We are talking Lucario running around with crates of milk, plowing fields of carrots with his hands, or I guess paws, right? The whole 9 yards. Weeks pass and Lucario's stats increase significantly with each passing day. All the while, Goku spent his time honing his ability to suppress his power so that he might soon spar with his new pupil. Eventually, the time does come. Lucario's strength has improved greatly, and Goku has suppressed his ki to tens of thousands of his true strength. So, after waking up and chowing down, the two square off for the very first time. Lucario charges in with a quick attack, immediately followed by a flurry of fighting type techniques, all skillfully dodged by Goku, of course. Eventually, Goku counters with the lightest counter jab he can possibly suffice, and still sends Lucario flying through some trees. Both of them still had very far to go in honing their skills. And as such, weeks passed, then months. Ash and Go continued their journeys throughout the world, wondering every once in a while exactly how their beloved Lucario must be doing with that strange martial artist. Eventually, though, the time does come. The World Coronation Series arrives, and though Ash had registered his full team, including the absent Lucario, he of course entered the arena with a measly 5 Pokemon on his team rather than the planned 6. He had no way of contacting Goku or Lucario, no way of knowing if they were even coming, so with no options left, marched forward into his matches 1 Pokemon short. His first match against the trainer Steven went off without a hitch, as the first bout is limited to 3 Pokemon to begin with. His semi-final match against Cynthia, however, was not so simple. A bout featuring the full 6 Pokemon roster, Ash was outnumbered. The match commenced and Ash managed to go 1-to-1 with each of Cynthia's Pokemon, all the way until Ash was down to only his final Pokemon, his first one, Pikachu. Things were all but hopeless for the Electric Mouse, as he would have to not only take out the Roserade he was currently up against, but also Cynthia's 6th Pokemon, Togekiss. Pikachu and Roserade traded moves back and forth, masterfully led by Ash's remarkable skills as a trainer, and in the end, Pikachu managed to take out Roserade with some of his very last ounces of strength. But of course, there was still 1 Pokemon remaining, and Pikachu was already at his limit. Cynthia called out her Togekiss and immediately dove in for an easy finishing blow. Even with its type advantage, Pikachu could barely stand and Togekiss was completely fresh. Pikachu stood no chance. But at the last moment, as Pikachu looked up to the incoming dive bomb, then back to Ash, everything else faded away, and all that remained was Pikachu's resolve to win this bout for Ash. In a move of complete sacrifice, Pikachu enveloped both Togekiss and himself in a full-powered Electro Web. Both of them took incredible amounts of damage from the kamikaze attack, but with Pikachu's resistance to electricity and Togekiss's weakness to that very element, Pikachu managed to overcome the odds and knock out Togekiss just before he fainted, securing Ash the match and his entry to the finals. A valiant sacrifice, but surely one in vain. Pikachu was left so injured that he certainly couldn't compete in the finals match. With Ash outmatched 4-6 now, he hardly stood a chance. But of course, as he always does, Goku showed up just when he was needed the most, and as Ash reunited with his Lucario, it was hard to recognize the Pokemon he'd seen months prior. He didn't know exactly what had changed, but Ash felt a renewed sense of confidence resonating from him. Out of caution, or perhaps uncertainty, Ash saves Lucario for last, pitting his 4 Pokemon up against Leon's mighty team. Unfortunately, though they tried their best, they only managed to take out 3 of Leon's team. They were all still clearly a bit worn out from their outnumbered semi-finals match and just couldn't manage to pull their weight this time. But then, of course, remained Lucario. As Ash called him out to the arena, Lucario looked to Ash, then Goku, then turned and looked squarely at the opposing Cinderace.
You can do this, Lucario! Just like the good old days!
Remember, just like we trained.
The crowd erupted in both astonishment as well as joy. Cinderace may have been slightly weakened by Ash's team, but to take him out so quickly in a single blow was unheard of. Ash's jaw was on the floor and Goku let out a hint of a grin. However, with 1 Pokemon still remaining, victory was not quite secured. Leon's Charizard was by far his strongest Pokemon, and fearful from the previous encounter, Leon spurred Charizard into his full power Gigantamax.
What? Is your Lucario not gonna Mega Evolve? Do you seriously think he's that good?
He doesn't need it.
The battle commenced, and with Lucario's aura still clearly suppressed, the 2 Pokemon traded blows fairly evenly. No matter what he did, whether Charizard threw out Flare Blitz or Inferno or barrages of Dragon Claw, he only seemed to stay on par with Lucario at best. Finally seeing the writing on the wall and backed into a corner, Leon opted for an all-or-nothing attack and called for a full-power Max Wildfire attack, one that upped Charizard's destructive power considerably. But with his aura still suppressed, Lucario squared off and began charging his Aura Blast, before raising his hands upward, almost resembling a Spirit Bomb. As Charizard's Max Wildfire came blazing forward, Lucario launched the blast and it forcefully pierced through the Inferno and decisively knocked out the Charizard. The crowd erupted. Ash celebrated his incredibly unlikely victory, and after the streamer settled, thanked Goku immensely for the training he imparted. Goku was nearly as happy as Ash was, and before wishing Ash well in his future journeys, left him with one parting word.
Take care of him now. He's stronger than you could possibly imagine. Make sure he keeps a lid on that, or he might hurt someone.
And with that, Goku was once again teleported out of this strange new world.
How did that one go?
Well, really easy and really tough at the same time. It's been a while since I sparred with people that much weaker than me.
And?
Well, I managed to suppress my strength way lower than before, so that's pretty great.
I'm glad to see you managed that so quickly. Key control, whether suppressing or boosting, is integral to the—
Actually, I was in there for months before I got good at it.
Oh, I see. Well, would you like to rest up for a bit?
Nah. What in the world is going on here? I gotta do something!
Goku's entrance into the world of One Punch Man is chaotic, but thankfully, thanks to a certain hero, his day saving wasn't needed in the end. What that encounter did allow, though, is for Goku to fly up and meet the bald man that saved the day, Saitama. On first meeting, Saitama was extremely hesitant to talk to Goku. He's not exactly a big fan of pupils or mentors and already had enough on his plate with Genos constantly following him around. However, the tone of their meeting changed once the conversation shifted to Saitama's hero work. Immediately, Goku had found the person he was supposed to be helping and knew exactly how to help him. Saitama, the hero that was by far the most key Goku could sense, had just recently become a hero and was a very low rank as a result. If Goku could manage to help him save the day and climb the ranks, this world would be in good hands as long as Saitama was around. And wouldn't you know it, Goku knows a thing or two about saving the day. So, after a reluctant chat, the two struck up an agreement. Goku would go around the city saving people from monsters and peril as much as he could, and at the end would instant transmission them to Saitama, who could then finish them off and acquire the hero credit for it. And furthermore, advance his hero rankings. Saitama isn't really one for stealing glory per se, but he was damn tired of the chores the low-rank heroes had to perform, and the thought of being rid of them was more than enough to agree to this little endeavor. And so, Goku was off, using his newfound ki suppression from his time with Lucario, as well as a teensy bit of newfound nuance he had gained from his time with Eren. He was making crazy progress through the city, assessing situations and dispatching bad guys, managing to avoid killing or knocking them out before Saitama could strike the final blow. In a single short week, the duo managed to raise Saitama's hero rank all the way up to Class A. Already a significant improvement. Soon though, everything came to a halt as Goku witnessed an event that completely altered his idea of what he was truly in this world to do. While out patrolling the city for bad guys, Goku sensed a large ki swelling in the distance and rushed that way to see what was wrong. What he found, however, was Saitama locked in an intense, if short, battle with a mighty alien. Though Goku arrived too late to help, his assistance clearly wasn't necessary. Saitama had beaten the alien without even breaking a sweat, and suddenly, seeing the look on his face, Goku knew the score. Saitama doesn't need to raise his hero rank. What Saitama needs is a fight with a strong guy. Finally, Goku was in his element. No more weird whirls where moral nuance or strength suppression was necessary. This goal was one he was completely and totally comfortable with: to give Saitama a good fight. And so, Goku went to Saitama with a proposal: to go somewhere secluded and duke it out. Saitama had recently done something similar with Genos, so he was willing enough to humor the guy with the wacky hair and give it a go. And so, the stage was set. The moment had arrived. Weebs and nerds across the galaxy were crying tears of joy at the thought of Goku versus Saitama.
I'll start with level 1. Since from what I've seen, you are real strong.
Did you just dye your hair?
Actually, this transformation is the first level of Super Saiyan, or as I call it, Super
That's
Saiyan.
in an anime, don't you think?
Goku was in for a much more engaging fight than he once thought. And so, the two fought, and fought, and fought some more. Locked in an ever-increasing battle, Goku and Saitama traded blows with a fantastical gravitas that we don't have the budget to do justice. It was the longest and most engaging fight Saitama had ever experienced since achieving his incredible power. As Goku took to higher and higher heights, Saitama too found himself discovering new depths to his strength he previously hadn't uncovered. Kamehamehas, teleportation, transformations. Goku could throw everything he had at Saitama to his heart's content, and Saitama too managed to keep up and respond in kind to it all. Against all odds, Saitama managed to push Goku all the way into Super Saiyan Blue. But by this point, both were starting to get a bit winded.
I've been finding a lot of strong guys lately, but you're definitely the strongest so far. Is this as fun as you thought it'd be?
This is pretty damn great, actually.
Wait, why am I still here, come to think of it?
What do you mean?
Well, your lifelong dream has been fulfilled. I should have been popped back to my world by now, right?
Oh, I guess there is one lifelong goal I have that's even more important than having a good fight.
Yeah, radishes are actually super easy to grow. They take around a month to grow, then you can take them to a market and sell them for some pretty good moolah.
And I can just keep doing this whenever I want?
Well, mine sell for enough to pay for me, Chi-Chi, and Goten, so even these few will probably be enough to pay for some stuff.
It's like a huge sale at the end of every single month. This is so much better than couponing.
What, not even a goodbye? We could have fought again after I watered these, you know.
And with that, Goku's time in One Punch Man land had come to an end. He managed, in the end, to solve the one true problem Saitama faced: skill precarity. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Just as he did each time before, Goku emerged from that portal with Whis awaiting him, ready and willing to send him to a new world, but this time, Goku stopped him.
Actually, I gotta take a break for a bit. I just realized I haven't watered the farm back home all day. I could really go for some of Chi-Chi's cooking right about now.
A break from training? That's not like you, Goku.
Yeah, well, Chi-Chi will be glad to see me all responsible. Anyway, see you tomorrow!
And with that, Goku's day of adventuring through the wild world of anime came to a close, having gained loads of new insight, perspective, and strength along the way. Ultimately, yeah, Goku is just too strong to really interface with most anime out there in the world. For the vast majority of them, Goku's contributions would really amount to showing up, one-shotting the big bad strong guy that's causing all the problems, and then ta-da, problem solved. But that isn't the case for all anime. There exist, even amongst the shonen and battle manga of the world, a great many forms of storytelling that allow for problems other than a big strong guy, it turns out. No amount of strength would have allowed Goku to instantly solve the morally fraught woes of Attack on Titan. No power would let him walk up to a gym leader and punch him in the face till they gave Ash a gym badge. Even in the world of One Punch Man, where he actually does have really strong guys to face off against, doing so isn't always the solution to a given narrative. So, what's the takeaway of this video then? Well, I don't really know, don't ask me. Goku is strong, stories are varied, and imagining Goku training Pokemon is fun. What more could you possibly want from me? Really though, if you are still here, I hope you all enjoyed this wacky, silly video and let your imaginations run wild in the process. If you're enjoying the sort of stuff I do here, be sure to check out my Patreon, where I post videos early as well as all sorts of bonus content like special Q&As and behind the scenes stuff. But for now, I've been Totally Not Mark, and thank you all so much for watching.